Carol. Thanks for watching. You are welcome to share this with your loved ones. I am working on a Spanish version, but it won't come out till this series is over. So I saw so many people watching and smiling and just sending me emails asking what their score means. Don't forget to watch that TED Talk because like I said, they will do it in a more professional way. I will be linking that TED Talk down in my description throughout the whole series. Also, don't forget to comment your experience down below. You can also be anonymous through my email and I can attach it. This will allow me to share a testimony or an experience based on the feedback you guys give me in my next episode. If you are new to my channel, I do encourage you to watch video 1 or episode 1 on adverse childhood experiences. I will probably link it up here and you can either watch it before or after. But I encourage you to watch all 10 series. I will be posting a video most likely every Wednesday, so look out for the videos on Wednesdays. Let's get started. Question number 2 is, did a parent or other adult in the household often or very often push, grab, slap, or throw something at you, or even hit you so hard that you had marks or were injured? How might this look like? This may look like someone who used their authority to physically hurt you with or without a cause. They were angry or they were not. You did something wrong or you didn't do anything wrong. You never really knew why, but you always knew when you were going to get a spanking. An adult put their hands on you, grabbed you, and injured you, leaving visible marks. They punched you and kicked you and usually hurt you with other items besides their hands. In the state of California, a parent or a guardian is allowed to hit their own child with an open palm hand at their own discretion without leaving a visible mark. I was hit as a child. This video will not be discussing the rights or wrongs about parenting based on hitting children. As a child, I was hit if I misbehaved according to my parents' standard of behaving. I would get a spanking with a chancla or with their hand and even sometimes with a belt. I was never explained afterwards why I was getting a spanking. I slowly put 2 and 2 together. Don't ask for permission, get hit. Ask for permission, don't get hit. I do believe that my parents should have explained to me after each spanking why they did what they did. Therefore, it would have saved me a lot of times getting spanked. And it would have saved them a lot of times having to do it because I would have been able to learn previously. I basically had to learn on my own what behaviors or what behaving looked like in my household. But I do remember a story in my neighborhood of a family whose dad really was physically abusive to one of their children. I remember hearing that he was always angry and always having to yell, and my friend who had to experience that abuse never understood why they themselves was always the target. We all knew in our neighborhood that the dad was angry, was always yelling, and my friend would always get hit. I never knew why, but we just knew that he would get punished more than everyone else in his household. And we also knew that the dad liked his daughter more. We would hear him say that he liked the daughter more, that the daughter was special, that she knew everything, and how she was allowed to do other things like go to the food truck, go play outside, hang out with her friends. Yet my friend wasn't able to do any of those things. And if he did want to go to the food truck, or he did want to hang out with his friends, or he did just want to be outside in his patio, somehow that would get him a beating or a spanking. And no one ever did anything. The mom didn't, the sisters didn't, the neighbors didn't, we didn't. And my friend now is serving jail time. And it makes me really sad, and it just really hurts me to know that perhaps the reason why he is in jail is due to this ACEs question, and how no one was there to educate the parents, educate himself, and just allow this cycle to break. And the reason why I'm so passionate about ACEs is because of this story exactly, and many more of my neighborhood where I grew up, that all the people that I grew up in elementary with somehow are just in different pathways, and it just made me always question why. We all grew up in the same neighborhood, we all had the same food truck, the same school, technically the same environment because we lived in this, you were my neighbor, but yet you realize that some are either in jail, some are dead, some are trying their best to succeed, some are just literally still stuck in that environment and like repeating the cycle, some are just really depressed. And I always just wondered why. Like, why was I so different? Why was I special? Why was I not part of their like statistic? I lived in the same situation, circumstances as they did. So I thought, until I was exposed to ACEs, I then realized that it had a lot of answers to what my heart yearned for. With people who have a point for this question, they usually develop an unconsciously insecurity of talking. What basically that means is that you believe that you are not worth to be heard. And this isn't because you don't have an opinion or you can't think of something to say or your brain just froze. It's literally because you believe unconsciously that your words aren't meaningful, that you are not worth being heard. Their thoughts and ideas are not greater than the thought of being corrected or failing at saying something. They don't have a luxury to fail because their view of failing resulted in a physical beating when they were younger. And so let me put that in perspective with someone who doesn't physically abuse. They have the luxury to fail because perhaps failing to them look like a lesson or look like a parent talk or look like someone who was going to reward them for trying again, where someone who has a 1 point for this question saw it in a very negative way. So I'm here to say that you do have a voice, you are somebody, and you are important. The scripture that I'm going to use is Psalms 139 verses 13 and 14. The verse says, "For you created me in my inmost being. You kneaded me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full now." I'm going to break that scripture down. So the first portion says, "For you created me in my inmost being." That means that you were selected. I know this sounds kind of like odd and weird, but you were selected, like that sperm was selected to basically infiltrate or go in the egg and create life. So you, as being here through the camera, have a purpose. You were created with talents and gifts, and you were created even before you were in your mother's womb. When you were created, it wasn't for the entertainment of your parents, it was for God's purpose. Even though you have a purpose in your family's like unit, like there's a reason why God purposely like put you with like that mother, that father, that sister, that cousin, but in reality, you were created for God's purpose and not for your parents' entertainment. The second portion says, "I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made." And praise basically means that it's words that you say about someone and their good actions. And so in this scripture, praise is being said to themselves. They're saying, "I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made." So they're basically saying good things about themselves. So we have to get to that place where we can like say the same thing that psalmist was saying at that time. He was saying, "I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made," meaning that they were so confident in themselves that they knew that they lived for a purpose. They knew that they lived for a greater purpose than themselves, and they loved who they were. The challenge for this week is to ask 3 people how their day is going and allow 2 people to ask you how your day is going. Answer the question knowing that you are someone, you are important, and you are worth being heard. When you ask someone that question, also remember that they are someone, they are important, and they are worth being heard. And so give them your divine attention. So remember, we are living amongst a lot of bears. So if someone does not give you your attention and is offended or does not want to talk to you when you ask them how your day is going, just shake it off and know that perhaps they have a high ACEs score. And so moving forward, you just have to be empowered by your own actions and know that you are working through this. And so try it with someone else. And what happens when you do ask someone and you take that step of courage and you ask them how their day is going and they answer so simple or just fine or just dismiss you as if you aren't important and they're not giving you the attention, you can stop talking and just walk away. That literally is some things that I do when I know someone is not giving me the respect or the time or the attention that I feel I deserve at that very moment. I just stop talking. I don't waste arguing. I don't waste proving myself why they should hear me. I just stop talking, I walk away, and I go into a better environment where I am being heard, and when I know I am somebody and I am important, because once again, we are all important, we are all somebody, and we are all worth being heard. So just to review really quick, ask 3 people how their day is going, and let 2 people ask you how your day is going, and remember to be respectful. If they are not being respectful back, you have the choice to just drop it and walk away and ask someone else. And just be really empowered and encouraged that you do have a voice. Side note, if you are now the adult who is abusing your own kids, because once again, that's what you were taught, stop and know that you were misfortunate because your parents were not taught and your parents did not get the tools to encourage you and correct you in the correct healthy form. So stop. Obviously, learn and educate yourself in the laws that we have here in California or in the state that you're watching, and basically realize, like, what am I trying to teach my child at this very moment that is taking me to the point of hitting them physically? And then think of how you can teach them without using that tool. It won't be easy, but trust me, everything is for the better. Like I said, it would have saved me a lot of beatings if I knew exactly why I was getting hit each time. And my parents took that time to talk to me about the consequence of my own actions. Some of us didn't have a healthy, correcting relationship with an adult, but today we're learning new ways that we can help us and each other in society and to become more resilient. That was it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. See you next time. I'm so sorry that there was a change of lighting and cameras. My regular camera died during the process, and so we had to switch to a different camera. But once again, thanks for watching.